Boxing King Media in association with Boxrel. Delighted to have with me Johnny Nelson. Johnny, we're here at the public workout for Smith EUBANK Jr. How are we doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm doing well. I think great to be in Manchester. I love boxing in Manchester. I think it always conjures up a great crowd, great atmosphere, great vibe. And I think once again, we're here in Manchester to see a good fight, a good build to the fight. Chris has played his part, his part well. Liam's the boy next door, you know, that wants to repeat exactly what he did the last time.
What does Chris EUBANK Jr. need to do to beat Liam Smith?
Chris needs to put it on him. Fight fire with fire. Don't go in there and try and outsmart someone that's smarter than you. So do what you're good at. What you're good at is you've got an amazing engine. Put it on him. That's the best chance he's got. Otherwise, exactly the same thing happens again, but probably not as early.
He's teamed up with BOMAC. I've just sat with BOMAC and done an interview with him, and I said, what did you see in Chris EUBANK to team up with him? He said potential. He has the potential. Still, at this age, has the potential to go on.
BOMAC's a hired gun. You know, in 4.5 weeks to prepare for such a big fight, you want somebody just to give you a few tips. A coach and the trainer is going to train you and coach you to fight a certain way. You aren't going to get that in 4.5 weeks because the last week you're tapering down, so that takes it out to 3.5 weeks. And then the first half a week is you get to know each other, so that takes it out to 3 weeks. So 3 weeks, and say he's trained 5 days a week, so that's 15 times they've actually trained together and worked together to teach each other something. You tell me what you're going to teach me when I'm tired. You tell me when the pressure's on and I'm fatigued, what instinctively am I going to do? It takes a lot more time, a lot longer for that kind of relationship to work. So in my head, he's a hired gun, and he knows it, and Chris knows it. You know, he's going to think, I want you in. I don't respect, or I don't see the sense in fighters chopping and changing trainers, because the trainer needs to be able to understand your ups and downs. A trainer needs to get you. A trainer needs to know when to give you a rest, when to push you, when to give you a bitch licks to get on with it, when to talk nice to you, and that takes time. And so if you're chopping and training trainers, how are you going to create a relationship where you get to know each other?
You feel the elbow, the way Chris made the weight. We know what happened with the Conor Ben stuff with regards to the weight cut. Do you think that had a significant impact in performance?
Yes. Do I think the result would have been different? No. After seeing that fight, do I think the weight would have made a difference? Yes. We've seen Chris get in there with, spar with people like Carl Froch and fight people like George. People that get in with George, people like that. He's a tough kid. Can take a shot. But you know what? I think it made a big difference.
Prediction?
Repeat.
Let's go back to the weekend. Daniel Dubois, Alexander Usyk. That was in Poland.
I said that was in Poland, not in the UK.
I said going back to the weekend.
Oh, what you said? Oh, sorry, man.
Anyways, what did you make of the low shot? Was it low? Was it not shot?
It wasn't a low shot. I think you've got to rate Usyk for taking advantage of the game. What Usyk did was he took advantage of the situation and he milked it. You know, he was hurt with a body shot, went down, and with his hurt, the referee bought it, human error, and so he took the 5 minutes. You know, he just took the momentum away, gave him time to recover from the body shot. He was hurt with a body shot. He wasn't hitting the hip, he wasn't hitting the groin, he wasn't hitting the balls. He was on the belt, and the shadow of the glove was just below the belt. It wasn't a low shot, and he knows that. The problem in our game is supposed to be such an honest game, where if you cheat so blatantly, you lose respect from people, and that's why really a lot of people are pissed off and arguing about it, because you think, nah, you don't do that in our game. Do it in football. Don't do that shit here. Let me flick your ear in football and you roll over 15, 20 times, pretend you're hurt, so the referee gives you an advantage in the game. You don't do that in boxing. You know, it's the best fighter beats the best fighter. If you get hit, you get hurt, you fight through it, dig through it. And you've got fighters that are taking gear to cheat. And that's what I'm saying. It's not just the fights that you lose respect from, you lose respect from the public in doing that as well. And that's why there's been so much uproar about the fight.
Johnny, I've spoken to a number of people. I was at Poland, spoke to many fighters, pundits, even here in the UK. And the consensus is that everyone is split. The fact that we're looking at a still picture and a slow motion video, it was a close call. So could we understand it from the referee's perspective who didn't get that opportunity?
I understand it from the referee's perspective. He had to make a snap decision there and then. He didn't have the option of being able to look at it, review it, think, yep, no, yeah. He made a decision, and on that decision, you know, the rest is history. So it's human error. You can't do it. And the thing is, it's not like you can bring, is it VAR, whatever it is, into boxing, because then that still messes up the momentum of the fight. So it's just human error. And USYK took advantage of that, you know, because he was hurt with a body shot. He's only human. You know, he was hurt with a body shot. He thought, I need the time, I need to get space, I'm out of it.
What about Don Charles calling USYK a cheat and referring him and saying that what he did was similar to someone who takes drugs?
It repeats what I'm saying to you. You know, in our game, you lose respect when you cheat, or when you don't win fairly. You know, when you use outside influences to do you a favour. In our game, it's frowned upon massively, because it's just like it's not like football. You know, in our game, it's man on man, woman on woman. You know, if you're fighting, you know, it's the skill of the game. But USYK just used his boxing brain and thought, you know what, these are the rules, and I'm going to milk him.
Another talking point coming out of this was Daniel Dubois' will to continue to fight. Eddie Hearn did an interview where he said that first knockdown, you know, it was just like a flappy jab. I'm paraphrasing here. The second one was a better jab, but the fact that he got about 9.5 clearly showed he didn't want to be in there.
The only people that can accuse Daniel Dubois of quitting are fighters. I'm sick of trainers, managers, promoters, maybe trainers, managers, promoters, talking about what fighters do, because a trainer is the closest person to a fighter that can say he quit, he did this, that, and the other. So when you're getting it from promoters, or when you're getting it from managers, ignore them. They have no right to say a man's quit or he hasn't quit. Now, in regards to the shot itself, Daniel wasn't knocked down, he went down. There's a difference. When you punch down, that punch puts you on your backside, on your back. He went down, he got hit with a shot, he got hurt, went down, he put his hands out first, went down, thought, that hurt. It was his decision not to carry on, because the fight had been boxed out of him. He had done everything he could, and the fight was taken out of him. And this is how you've got to look at this thing here. This boy looked, and if you can get up at 9, you can get up at 8. So it's not a mistake. Oh, I didn't know. If you get up at 9, you can get up at 8. And that's the game we're in. So it's harsh saying he quit. He just had the fight beaten out of him.
Frank Warren's going to appeal. Do you think they'll have any joy, any luck?
No, none at all. I don't think it'll make a difference to the result. I think the same thing that happened again. I believe that if USYK got up that same round and the referee made him, you know, started counting, USYK would have got up. He would have fiddled, he would have messed about, he would have tried to survive the round. The result would have been the same. People are thinking if you know, the referee had counted, he would have counted USYK count, he wouldn't have done. And I just think I think Dubois still wouldn't have won the fight.
Adverse finding in Helene's sample, adverse finding in Alicia Baumgartner's sample. What needs to happen, Johnny? Seriously, what needs to happen?
I am not surprised. Again, I'm not surprised, and it will happen again and again and again and again. The promoters can say we're going to implement this with all our fighters in the stable. That's like having human resources. You know, they're going to do what's best for the company. So if you're a promoter and you're saying, you know what, we've invested a shitload of money into a fighter, but if you cheat, we're going to expose you, and all our money's gone, that's bullshit. What needs to be in the governing bodies, not one governing body, all the governing bodies need to make everybody in that team accountable. The corner man, the water man, the cuts man, the bandage man, everybody that gets in the ring that wants to stand and smile when you've won, they all suffer the consequences if you fail the drug test. They all get a ban. They're banned for 2 years, so it affects their living. And that, because what happens is it's only Hellenius whose name you're hearing. It's only Conor Ben whose name you're hearing. You think these people do it by themselves? They've been given advice. So therefore what I'm saying to you is, everybody else, it's got to get to a point where people won't turn a blind eye. And so in doing that, you make everybody else accountable to say, right, then he's got a ban for 2 years, the rest of you have got a ban for 2 years. There'll be less people saying, nah, I'll pretend I didn't know that. That's what the governing bodies have to, and that's the only time it's going to change. There's nothing else you can do.
Final question, man you know well, Prince Nassim Hamed. His son Adam Hamed made his debut he was chief support in Poland. What do you make of his performance and his win?
What a great opportunity for a young man making his debut. And of course, his name is boxing royalty. He's a Hamed, man. So therefore, he's in the hot seat. But with the praise, he's going to get the criticism as well. So he's got to be. That's part of the game. And I'm quite sure Naz has prepped him for that. But that's the game. That's the game. He's so good on it.
Joe Nelson, thank you for speaking to Boxing King Media.